Hello everyone and welcome on back into the Barretts. Today is gonna be a simple voiceover type of video, and then at the end we're gonna I will come on camera and we will react to the other endings for Triangle Strategy. But this is my review for probably one of my favorite strategy games ever. Triangle Strategy. This game is published by Square Enix and in the game style of HD pixel graphics, as Octopath Traveler was, made by the same developers as well. It's like if Fire Emblem and Octopath Traveler had a baby. For this interview, I will be discussing three topics: the gameplay, the story, and how different this game is from other strategy games, as I do love me some good strategy games. Like I said earlier, at the end, I will discuss what ending I got from the game and react to the endings I didn't get. So that is when I will come on camera. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm so excited. I have finally beaten this game. So let's jump in to the gameplay. The gameplay for this is somewhat similar to the majority of strategy games. You're on a grid, and each character can only move a certain amount of spaces. You have to position each unit to either make full use of their kit, and so they don't take major damage if they're a glass cannon, kind of like Frederica or your healers, or any other mage in general. So the major difference is the use of TP. If you played Octopath Traveler, then you know what TP is. TP is what you need to use abilities for each unit. Units, of course, have elemental weaknesses and resistances. The major part of the game that helped me the most and got me through some of the toughest battles was for sure utilizing terrain and follow-up attacks. These were the key factors I utilized in my strategy. But how do you get more units? Well, during the course of the game, and the key factor of this game is your choices. Every dialogue, every major choice event will strengthen your convictions. You will never know throughout the game where your convictions are and what it is influencing, but it can influence who joins your party and at what point. I got a lot of units joining very early, but from chapter 12 to basically the end of the game, I went through a major drought. It was tough because I was stuck with some of probably what I feel like is the more generic units. I got some of the shopkeeps. I didn't really use some of them. I loved using Archibald. I used the tavern lady on the horse because I can't pronounce her name to save my life. And I didn't use any of the other ones. I didn't use Lionel. I didn't use Piccoletta. I didn't use the builder guy. I tried to use him. It just never worked out. So then I didn't get another unit till about, I would say, chapter 5, maybe even chapter 19. My convictions finally got me a couple other units. So I got a guy from an S-Frost general from a guy who's from S-Frost on the Hawk. I got him. I forgot his name. Then a couple battles later, I got this older lady who was a monk. She was pretty badass. Wish I had her sooner. And then at the very end, I got a really awesome character, but it was literally the final battle, so I didn't get a chance to really use him throughout my playthrough. But I went through such a major drought after the initial wave of characters. As you can see on screen, actually you got Flanagan. I never used the artisan. I got Trish from the story, from the path that I chose. I just didn't use the rest of them very much, as you can see by their levels. I used a lot of the mages. I tried Eliza, I forgot the lightning. She was badass. But everyone else, these other smaller units, just never used. But overall, I loved the gameplay and everything about it. It was perfect, a perfect strategy game in my opinion, and it was just phenomenal. I enjoyed every moment. It was challenging too. It was so challenging. But the main part of this game is the story. So let's just jump into what the story is. So the story, I compare it to, it's like Game of Thrones, but a bit tamer. And instead of the Iron Throne being fought over, it's the Iron Salt. Salt is the power in the game. Not only does it preserve your food, it can also be used in weapons. You have control over salt, you have the power. There are 3 main kings in this fight over salt: Hyzant, Esfrost, and Glenbrook. Our main character, Sarah Noah Wolfort, of House Wolfort, the major house in Glenbrook. Wolfort is also the house that is highly recognized and friends of the king. Sarah Noah is also engaged to Frederica, the daughter of the king of Esfrost. She's also a Rosellan. They're a pretty key race in the game, so make sure you keep a close eye on the Roselle and their struggles. The story immediately takes off with Esfrost invading Glenbrook and taking out the major people in control of Glenbrook, mainly the king and the older brother to Prince Roland, leaving only Prince Roland and Princess Cordelia. House Wolfort flees Glenbrook with Roland, and the story truly begins. Throughout the entire game, any major decision is made with the scales of conviction. If you want something to happen, you have to convince the other major NPCs of the game to side with you with what you want to do. It's not easy. Sometimes you may have to restart if you choose the wrong options to convince them. You may have to reload your save just so you can get them to vote the way you want them, or you can just deal with it. And even though it wasn't what you wanted to do, and everyone didn't get convinced that for what you wanted to do, you can just go along with it. I'm not gonna go into major details of the game, especially with the story, but I truly loved this story. It had so many twists and turns. It had so many things that just made your jaw immediately drop, and I couldn't believe some of the things and the twists I did not see coming whatsoever. I made every decision with Wayne possible pros and cons for each one. Like, for example, one of the first major choices you have to make was if you want to continue to protect Prince Roland or give Prince Roland to Esfrost and see what happens. I chose at that point, I was on the side of I want to protect Prince Roland and I must protect Prince Roland. But, I come to find out, while it probably was the right choice, at this point I kind of want to just give him to the Esfrost. I should just give him to the Esfrost. But I had to weigh. I weighed out the pros and cons. That okay, what could truly happen if I give Prince Roland to Esfrost at that point? Should I? Will they just kill him? They probably just kill him. Will I throw him in jail? Maybe, but who knows? I didn't know at that point. I don't know what the outcome could have been. So I chose to protect Prince Roland. Some choices though throughout this game weren't as major as others. They just weren't. It was like okay. Not as big of an impact as I thought it would, but I still considered what could have happened regardless. Before we get into the ending of the game and what I chose, I want to give a score. Throughout the entire game, I was playing Triangle Strategy. I had so much fun. And I think what stood out between this game compared to like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, I really compared this mostly to Final Fantasy Tactics more than I did Fire Emblem. I think Fire Emblem has other key factors into it that Triangle Strategy did incorporate some things, but just not all of it. I think the major thing that just set it apart, for me at least, was the look and the feel of the gameplay, and not having, in Fire Emblem I relied on so much on the rewinds. In this game, I didn't rely on there is no rewind. You can't go back and undo what you did. You just kind of have to like play around it and hope you can fix it and come back to it later. And just come back from the problem. So for me, I didn't have that like crutch to fall back on. I think what really set this apart compared to most other strategy games is that when you say you lose a battle, say it just didn't go your way, you need to retry it, what have you, to help gain or go back and grind some levels. When you finish a map and you didn't completely and you didn't win, you keep that experience even when you reload and get a game over. So when I was playing through a major story battle, I got to keep my level. I got to keep any levels that I gained during that said battle and could try again with those same levels. I loved that. Most strategy games do not do that. You have to beat the battle to keep your levels. If you lose the battle, you go back to the beginning. But with this one, you lose the battle, but you can try again and they keep your levels. I think that is so helpful in grinding levels for your units. They also had really good like practice stages in in your encampment with the tavern. She would give you like mock battles, and that was the best way to grind levels. You didn't get much out of it. You didn't get much things from it besides the initial time you beat it the first time. But it was so helpful to have those types of like battles and mock battles and keep your levels after each combat. It was key. I couldn't have gotten through this game had they not kept the levels. I would have been having to redo mock battles every single time. Sometimes I would just sit there and keep going on a story battle, getting levels through the story battle, and coming up with a better strategy. I would inch closer and closer and closer to beating the map every single time. I think that is what really sets apart Triangle Strategy from every other game. No other strategy game that I know of, at least, does that type of thing. It is so major, it is so helpful, and I think strategy games going forward should implement that. For sure. The soundtrack, which is what I'm also playing right now in the background, is phenomenal. Such a good soundtrack. So, with all that being said, I want to give this game a score that I think personally it definitely deserves. I had so much fun playing this. It was challenging. These battles were never easy. The major story ones were never easy at all. The story had so much twists and turns. I personally give Triangle Strategy a 10 out of 10, and I will for sure play it again on a harder difficulty and get the true ending. Now, I want to preface this. If you have not beaten this game, this is where these spoilers start. If you do not want spoilers on the ending, do not watch from this point on. Alright. So, the ending that I got. So there are 5 endings. One is the really bad ending that you get for picking a wrong choice. And basically, I think, killing everything. But then there are 3 options to pick from once you get to the final chapter. And then, of course, the true ending that I was so close to getting. Now, I didn't get the true ending. I was on the way to it. I went back and I looked at where I screwed up. And I screwed up with setting the houses on fire during the S-Frost battle when I was protecting Roland. The ending I chose was going with Benedict's plan. So what basically happens is you team up with S-Frost and kick Izan's fake ass out of the land. It seemed like the better path compared to the others that was presented to me. Roland is just a complete dumbass. Even after we told him that the goddess was fake, and all of the proof and that there's the salt mine under the mines that's what started this whole entire conflict in the beginning, he still wanted to give control to Hyzant and be under Hyzant's rule. That's what he wanted. And then there was Frederica's plan, where she wanted to liberate the Roselle from Hyzant, take them on a ship, and go find the promised land that her mother speaks of, that are specifically for the Roselle, and basically leave everyone on the continent to the madness of war between Glenbert, Hyzant, and Esfrost. Besides Glenbert would probably go and be under Hyzant's boot. So let's go ahead and watch and get my reaction on the two endings I personally didn't go for. Alright, let's go ahead and see Rolands Ending. So I knew the moment he said, let's convert with Hyzant. Let's give Hyzant the power. After we find out that Hyzant's basically made up a false goddess that turned out to be an automaton. And it was all under what Igor wanted to do. He was the true one in power. I just lost my shit with him. I was like, dude, fuck you for suggesting this. So let's see how Roland's stupidity plays out.
Your wounds are fatal, Svarog. Struggling will only hasten your demise.
I am not yet beaten. There is still fight left in my soul. Lend me your strength, Dragan.
Why would you go so far?
The future is in the hands of the ardent youth.
Those words.
They were Lord Dragan's. Yes. He himself was an ardent youth. He dreamed of a new era, not just for Esfrost, but all of Norzelia.
He was a man of great ambitions. One who would have never wanted to see destruction like this.
I know the type of man Dragan was. He was
But he
my
wanted to
only
be
son,
he
all.
wanted a diplomat. He wanted power.
He was a brilliant boy.
He might have
My
wanted this,
pride
but
and
probably
joy.
not.
But in the end, I was powerless to help him. Gustadolf is dead. I cannot even avenge him. I'm so sorry, my boy. My dear Dragan. Please, forgive me.
How powerful a father's love for his son is.
What Svarog did here is unforgivable. And yet, I must admit, I am a little jealous of Lord Dragan.
As am I.
My lord, the battle is won. It is now time we see to the people and damages.
I see
Indeed.
Frederica's gone.
If we split up, we can cover more ground.
I do notice Frederica's not here. I think Frederica probably left.
Svarog,
Don't blame her.
if you see Lord Dragan, please tell him something for me. Tell him that the salt crystals are in good hands now,
No, they're not.
and that his will is paving the way to a new
No,
era.
it's not. Absolutely not. It's some paving the way to an absolute shit era. I already know it. Don't lie. Don't lie, Roland. Don't fucking lie. You want this out of grudge.
The melted iron has stopped flowing, but still, the town is in shambles.
Yes, but it would have been worse had Svarog fired the death knell on the town itself.
Are you unharmed, Minister Serenoa?
I am fine. And yourself?
Safe and sound. As frosty citizens and soldiers are being seen to by our Hyzantian forces.
I cannot thank you enough. It appears we managed to avoid the worst.
What of Svarog?
He has been defeated.
Then this is far from the worst. I dare say it may even be the best for us. If we expose Svarog to be the one behind all this destruction, we should be able to shake the
Of course they're gonna do that.
Not to mention the archives burnt down in all the commotion, saving us the trouble of dealing with it ourselves.
How convenient.
The archives? What are you talking about?
In truth, I had a secret assignment from the Holy One to dispose of
The
place.
archives. That's where Frederica's mom's book is that
But
we
why?
found already.
The archives contain annals of Norzelia's knowledge.
Probably had the stuff
And that
of the
is
Roselles too.
precisely why. Knowledge stimulates greed. It would only be an obstacle to the goddess's teachings.
So you mean to put knowledge only in the hands of the leaders?
Red flag number
Say
one.
that. But I heard the death knell in Frost's possession was created using knowledge from that very library. I believe the Holy One means for knowledge like that to be controlled.
Certainly if there are other records like Orlea's diary, people may begin to doubt the goddess's teachings.
Exactly. And had we openly
Really,
set fire to
Roland?
the archives, we would be
Really?
faced with the powerful
You're okay with
backlash
this?
from the people.
You're okay with this?
Which is why we were fortunate to have Svarog do it, however unintentionally. Merging with Frost will be even easier than we thought. Our repute raised, we can now bring peace and stability to Norzelia,
No, you won't.
just as we had hoped.
Roland, you're a fucking idiot, man.
Indeed. This is the path we chose to walk.
This is the path you wanted out of grudge.
Yes. To bring peace and equality to
There
all
won't be no
Norzelia.
peace, and there won't be no equality in Norzelia. There for damn sure won't be. Red flag number one. Let's put knowledge only in the power of the leaders. Oh god, they're even in the...
Fort, reporting in.
Oh no.
Roland Glenbrook reporting in as well.
Those robes suit you two very well.
They're in the robes. No, don't.
Indeed. Almost as if you were born to be saints.
We have been waiting for you. You have sacrificed much in the fight to unify Norzelia. Now the Holy One wishes to honor you both, with titles and responsibilities befitting your great deeds. Serenoa Wolfort, you are to be Glenbrook's counsel.
Understood.
And you, Roland Glenbrook, you are to be the Minister of Salt, in charge of inspecting both the source
Minister
and
of
the mines.
Salt?
A position I take with honor.
Our three nations are now one. A new age of harmony,
Oh,
unified
Edor. I
under
was
the
calling him
goddess.
Edor. It's Edor.
As the Saintly Seven, it falls to us to guide the people and show them our unwavering faith in the Hierophant, the goddess, and the teachings.
That's all
And we
fake.
shall, for the new
All
age of
fake.
Norzelia.
It's all fake.
May the goddess be with us.
There is no goddess. It's Edor. Oh god. This is
So
so
it is that
bad.
Norzelia is united under the rule of the holy state of Hyzant. Soon the teachings of the goddess
This is what
spread
Edor
all
wanted.
across
This is
the
what he
land.
wanted.
Any who rebel or reject the teachings are taken prisoner and forced to labor at the source
Of course.
or in the mines alongside the long-suffering Roselle.
Of course. Of
But
course.
in exchange for their freedom and faith, the goddess's believers enjoy peace and salt aplenty. Those who
Yeah, they're
walk her path
believers.
know happiness like never before. They offer daily prayers of gratitude to her for their full bellies, safe streets, and an era of calm that has come at long last. A calm that comes to be known as the goddess's
That's
blessing.
all fake. It's all fake. And if you rebel, if you don't want to believe in the teachings, what happens? You get forced into slavery. A world free of sin. Yeah, sure.
I barely recognize this place anymore.
It truly has changed, hasn't it? There are statues of the goddess throughout the town now.
And relics of the old kingdom are being torn down, one after the other.
I miss it too, my friend.
You needn't console me. This is all proof of the new era. We live in an age of peace now, thanks to the goddess. This is the world I dreamed of.
The world we dreamed of. You did not walk your path alone.
No, I didn't. As the ones who shaped this world, we now have a duty to defend it. I hope I can still count on you like always, old friend.
Likewise.
Well, it's about time I head back to Hyzant.
Allow me to see you off at least.
Don't worry about me, Serenoa. I know you have your own business to attend to at the castle.
Very well. I will see you again soon, Roland.
Oh?
Dear Goddess of Salt, thank you for blessing me and my little sister again today.
Thank you. Mother, Father, can you hear us? We're happy again, thanks to the goddess.
Yeah.
It is
we
so
visit you
sad
every
knowing that it's
day,
all
and everyone
fake.
is so nice.
So you don't need to worry about us. Just watch over us with the goddess, okay?
So they're orphans. But they are still living peaceful lives. I wasn't wrong to choose this path. Even though the royal family of Glenbrook is no more. Everyone lives with a smile on their faces. And that's more than enough for me.
You're forcing people to follow
Bro, let's go.
and fucking and give everything for a fake religion. Is it worth it? Because you're not seeing the people that are suffering. The Roselle, the people who rebel against it, get thrown in prison and turned into slavery. Nah, you're not seeing the bad part of it. This is all nice and peaceful, but there's a bad part of it too.
We got all the salt we need here. Life's never been better. We couldn't be happier with House Wolford, to tell the truth.
It pleases me to hear you say so. If there's ever anything you need, simply say the word.
Of course. By the way, did you hear about that odd sect?
You mean the nun going around spouting all that nonsense? What was it again? The teachings of Centralia? Ugh.
That's the one. I heard she's been talking about an endless salt mirror, claiming it to be part of Norzelia's
Frederica.
history.
Yeah, she's telling anyone who
Centralia,
listens.
Frederica.
I saw her the other day.
Oh, really? What was she like?
Well, she didn't have any hair, but she was still a beauty. She even had several ardent followers with her.
If she created her own religion, doesn't that mean she rejects the goddess's teachings? Should we tell House Wolford?
She shaved her head?
There's no need for that. No sane person would believe that madness anyway. When I passed by, everyone around threw rocks to chase her away.
But you said she had followers, which means there are still people who think that nonsense is true.
Haha, you worry too much. No matter what happens, the goddess will always protect us.
Wow. Just
So you
wow.
haven't given up the fight for the Roselle. You stayed true to yourself and never stopped listening to your heart.
Poor Frederica, man. Nah. Fuck this ending. Nah, don't like it. All right, let's see what happens if you know Frederica and you liberate the Roselle.
Gah!
Fuck you, Edor. Oh, Roland still comes. That's the shocker.
Serenoa, they've all
When
made
you
it
chose
across.
Benedict, Roland didn't fucking come. He was pissed.
Then let us follow. Lower the bridge.
You shall not escape!
Violet flames! No!
You will never escape! The goddess must be perfect. The history of the Roselle must remain buried.
Oh god.
I have spent too long building the teachings to let filth like you tear it all down. Let us die together.
Serenoa!
I'll save you! Stay back! Igor has Elfric. It'll go off any second.
You are an astute one, aren't you? This was created to give life to our Holy One.
Yeah, you're
But it
fake
has power
automaton.
enough to reduce this whole place to so much ash. You brought the goddess's wrath upon you. Now, I will see you burn!
No!
Is he gonna die?
Retreat, all of you! I'll keep it contained!
No, you can't!
Go, my lord! I'll take your place! Stay back! There's no time! Roland, get them away from here! Far away! Damn you! You heard the man! Run!
No, Serenoa! Serenoa!
Fool! What did you think you would gain, martyring yourself? See how quickly your friends abandon you?
You think they've abandoned me? Where they go, they take with them my heart, my love, and everything I am. But I don't expect a tyrannical goddess to understand what it means to be family.
Oh shit. Does he die with him? We're trying to find him. Who's the body?
Any luck?
None whatsoever.
My lady, I am loath to say it, but we cannot search forever.
Please, just a few more minutes. My mother's pendant.
Sarah, no. I couldn't protect him.
If only we'd been stronger.
I'm so sorry.
This never would have happened if you hadn't tried to help us.
I promise you, whatever happens, I will never regret choosing this path.
Nor will I, my love. No one is to blame. No one forced us to do this. We chose.
Try not to cry.
Speaking one's mind, acting accordingly, and accepting responsibility. That is our house's way, is it not, Eridor?
Right you are, my lady. That's what it means to be a Wolfort.
This is but the first step of our journey. Come, my friends, we have further to go. Let me make good on the promises I have made to you. And to my husband.
Lady Frederica.
We're with you to the end.
Let's go. All of us.
I'm surprised Roland is actually wanting to do this.
To Centralia!
And so, House Wolfort and the Roselle disappear, never to be seen on Norzellian soil again. The realm they leave behind soon crumbles into chaos.
That's what I thought would happen.
With the statue of the goddess destroyed, and most of their saintly seven killed, Hyzant's faithful splinter. Violent feuds spark between the various factions as they vie for dominance of a broken land.
Yep.
In Esfrost, Lord Svarog conspires with the surviving Glenbrook nobles to lead an uprising against Archduke Gustadolf, plunging the duchy into civil war. It is an endless cycle of bloodshed, alliances forged and broken, and betrayal. In time, the various powers, having long since abandoned their ideals, fight only for survival. The source and the crystal deposits change hands too many times to count. This violent chapter of Norzellian history would come to be known as the era of salt and blood.
But do they make it to Centralia? That's what I want to know.
So Svarog seeks to avenge his son's murder by attacking the capital, does he? The lengths the parent will go for their child.
Archduke, we've taken enemy cannon fire.
Gutsy bastard. Lend me a soldier or two, Archduke. We'll smash that cannon to pieces before they fire it again.
No need to be reckless. The device is incomplete. Its aim is poor at best.
But sir, our troops are rattled. We must do something.
I already have. Isn't that right, Benedict?
Benedict? Benedict? Oh! I'm sorry, I didn't see Benedict!
Indeed. The old Glenbrook nobles aiding Svarog have been dealt with. He'll have a knife in his back soon enough.
That can't be all.
Our dear Exham let slip an interesting observation. That, with Glenbrook deserted, now would be an opportune time to cut out the rot.
Meaning you plan to destroy all our enemies in one go of it.
Yes, other measures to crush what remains of Hyzant are also progressing apace.
Jeez.
How efficient.
This guy really sided with him.
About what you've promised.
I haven't forgotten. Once I control Norzelia, the former Wolfort domain will be yours. Including, of course, the people you care so deeply for.
I shall hold you to that vow.
Not a man to be trifled with, old Benedict.
Damn straight.
With all due respect, sir, but isn't it dangerous to give territory to a man like that?
Not in the least. He lives for oaths he made in the past. Nothing more. He hasn't the ambition nor the means to supplant me. But such genius shouldn't be allowed to go to waste. He is a perfect tool, one I shall make good use of.
Oh. So they do make it to Centralia.
Another day of calm seas.
The water is so pretty, like a giant mirror for the sky.
I thought that was her kid.
Thank you, Lady Frederica.
I thought that was her kid for a minute.
Hmm? What for?
I just love the sea so much. My mother told me what happened when I was a baby. She said we wouldn't be here in Centralia if it weren't for you. So thanks. Thanks for bringing me to the sea.
It was my pleasure.
Oh, what a pretty pendant! It looks like treasure!
That's because it is. It's a keepsake from my mother. Inside are memories of her. And of someone I once loved very, very much.
Doesn't seem right that Serenota's not there too. I honestly didn't think he would die in that ending. I really didn't. Oh boy. Oh, and Roland is there too. This motherfucker is okay with doing Frederica's plan, but if you sign with Esfrost, oh no! We know what he really wanted. It was a grudge. He had a fucking grudge against Esfrost. Are we shocked? No. I think I still like the ending I picked, to be honest. I really do. I think I liked my ending better the one with Benedict's plan. While I know Benedict has a very weird hand in all of this, I still liked it better. You're not under a fate goddess. You're not going, your Hyacinth is gone, the Roselle are free, the Salt is in control of the people. While it's not perfect, because people aren't perfect, I think compared to both of these endings, I still will definitely pick, and I will always pick again and again, the ending with Benedict, with Serenoa in power, and with siding with Esfrost, because fuck Hyacinth, and fuck, I just don't like that it was nice that the Roselle got to be free and they're on their own place and they're free, but at what cost? You left Norzelia to be basically burn in chaos. Burn in chaos. But that is it for my review of this strategy. Again, 10 out of 10 game, would recommend always. This is such worth every penny, any point. Play it, whether you play it on Switch, whether you play it on Steam, whether you play it on PlayStation. I think it's on PlayStation. I don't remember. Either way, pick this game up. If it's on sale, definitely worth the money. You will get so many hours out of this. I am definitely going to go back at some point and play this game and get the true ending. I'm not going to watch the true ending, but I love this game. So, again, 10 out of 10 for me. Recommend playing it. You've got to pick it up. Don't forget to leave a like. Comment your thoughts on the game if you have beaten and finished this game. And of course, subscribe for more content. If you want to catch me live, subscribe here. And also, follow me on Twitch. Link will be down below. Until then, I will see you all in the barracks again very soon. Bye-bye!